All right, well, first of all, I might just say good morning, Queensland, and give the update of our COVID cases. And there have been 0 new cases overnight, so that's fantastic news. 7 active cases, and we've done 6,176 tests in the past 24 hours, which is excellent news. Well, today I'm joined with Tony Ferris, the President of the RSL Queensland, and Kerry Gallagher, who's the RSL South Eastern Sub-Branch President, and of course our Chief Health Officer. Well, today is very exciting news, I think, for veterans and families right across Queensland, because Dr. Jeanette Young has given the go-ahead for all Anzac Day services, parades, commemorations to happen right across Queensland as per normal. This is fantastic news. I want to thank my Assistant Minister Bart Mellish. Bart started the conversations with the RSL. Initially we were looking at alternative venues, whether we could do the march around a stadium, around the Ekka, and when we presented this to Dr. Young said everything can go ahead as per normal as in the past, so this is fantastic news. This is going to mean a lot to families and veterans. Last year was, of course, an unusual year. It was a very solemn commemoration at the dawn service with only a handful of people there. We also saw thousands of people on their driveways with the light up the dawn. This year we will be returning to normal. I think that this means a lot to everyone across our state, and I think as a great sign of respect, let's all turn out in full force to show our appreciation to the men and women who served our country. So, look, I'll hand over to Tony and then to Kerry to say a few words, then Dr. Young, and we're happy to take some questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Premier.
Thanks, Tony.
Good morning, Queenslanders. The RSL is overjoyed with the news that came out this morning from the Premier, and we applaud and thank the Premier and, of course, Dr. Young for the hard work that's gone on in Queensland. The fact that we now have Anzac Day back is hair on the back of your neck stuff. It's quite warming. The communities and our veterans will now be able to step out with their comrades and continue down the path of remembering those veterans that have served, given everything for their country, and those that are currently still serving. So a great day for Queensland, absolutely fantastic. Thank you.
What does this mean for veterans and their families up to last year? How special was it?
From my perspective, and I think speaking on behalf of the veteran, it's going to be bigger than it's ever been before. The fact that we can now get back to our grassroots with our families and commemorate those that have gone before is just going to be one of the great things for Queensland. Veterans, and I've been hearing a lot of it, have been concerned because of the distancing in relation to COVID. And look, I still ask all veterans and those that attend these events to still apply common sense and practice that safe distancing. But there's no restrictions. Let's go forward and remember.
This is a vitally important day and function for the veterans. It's a day for the community, I must say, and we see that year after year in Brisbane in the growth of the community, not only here in the Brisbane Parade, but in the various community dawn services and services other than dawn services around the streets of Brisbane and that sort of thing. The light up the dawn was great, but veterans need this, and so on. It's good for the community, important for the community, but for veterans it's vital. It's vital in many ways. They need this. This is the time they get together, one day a year. They get to march down the streets of Brisbane, the town, their town, the one that they've given service to, and they get then to meet up with their mates. And the meeting with mates is vitally important, not only from, I suppose, a traditional point of view, but for many, many of them who perhaps are not travelling so well. This is an important day psychologically and mentally. Sadly, in one of my other guises as National President of the Australian Army Training Team Vietnam Association, we are the We're an organisation of 1,008 people that were first into Vietnam, last out, and sadly the ranks are thinning. Of those that are upright, we're down to about 450.
Yeah, might grab Dr. Young. Yeah, thank you, Kerry.
Right. This is fantastic news, and it's because of what Queenslanders have achieved. So Anzac Day last year, we had more than 270 active cases in Queensland. Today, we've got 7 active cases in Queensland, and all 7 of those were picked up in hotel quarantine. We do not have community transmission here in Queensland today, and we probably don't have any community transmission anywhere in the country today. And that's what the difference is. So that's why we can move forward and quite rapidly really return to normal. So that's important. We've got to start working through what we need to continue to do as we transition to a more normal way of life. And part of that is, of course, the vaccine. And I'm so excited that yesterday we vaccinated, not we, the Gold Coast University Hospital staff vaccinated 203 people, and that's the start of a really important journey. But we won't have that vaccine rolled out in time for Anzac Day, and we don't need to. So Anzac Day can go ahead no matter where we're up to with our vaccine program. No, there won't be any requirement for masks. Remember that these services are perfect in a COVID environment. We know that the risk of spreading COVID-19 outdoors is very, very, very low. So for the parades, for the dawn services, for all of the events that happen outdoor, and the vast majority of those more formal events are outdoors. Once people go indoors, the risk increases, but we've got processes in place that will continue to be in place, and I commend the RSL. They have just done some of the best work in Australia in terms of managing their RSL clubs as per their COVID normal. So 1 per 2 square metres, but they know that. They've been doing it for months and months and months exceptionally well, so there's no problem there.
Will the services also have to have COVID-safe plans or checklists?
Yeah, if they're above those numbers. So they've already done that work and they'll put that through, and that's just tinkering. It's no issue. Another 200 at the Gold Coast, and we'll see what they achieve, and for 1,000 for this week.
Sorry, before Christmas we had the Stacia Bitcoin email account come out. You previously told Parliament you didn't use private email for work purposes. Can you explain those two?
It's all gone through the Triple C, Patrick. I don't have anything further to add.
The Triple C chair says that we haven't looked at your emails and you did have a quick look at it when...
Yep. I don't have any concerns. It happened like 5 years ago. The handbook's been updated. Sorry? Look, it's an absolute tragedy. I understand that the police are doing a thorough investigation there, and look, I just have to wait to see what the police say. It's just, it's unbelievable this is happening in this day and age.
Premier, the Victorian Premier said it's too early to make a decision on these Anzac Day services. How come it's not too early for Queensland, but it's too early for Victoria?
Well, we've sat down and we've got on with it. So we've been making this a priority. I tasked this to my Assistant Minister. He reported back to me. We talked with Dr. Young, and today we're able to make this announcement. People have got to put plans in place. Anzac Day is not too far away. That's a matter for the Victorian government. We've acted swiftly.
How would you describe the email discussing the public service model? Isn't that work?
No.
Isn't that work?
No, my understanding it's all been through RTI, Patrick. You know the RTI process. Used to be an RTI officer. Okay.
The Prime Minister's office saying that it's still waiting for a proposal on the well-being thing. What do you make of that?
Oh, look, this is just ridiculous. The departments are talking at length about these issues, and it makes logical sense, and, you know, the federal government should just get on with it.
Is the point of it to alleviate the to allow Queensland to take more international arrivals, or is it to just make sure we have less in Brisbane? What is the actual point of them sort of?
Well, the point is to actually make it safe for everyone, to make it safe for the community, to make it safe for the returning travellers, and to make it safe for the workers. That's the point of it. And, you know, in all honesty, this should have been set up by the federal government months ago. They've had a year to do this.
But if we set up at Wellcamp, will we have less international quarantines in Brisbane?
Well, it's all about, Jack, whether or not the federal government is going to allow international flights to land there. So until we get the tick off from them on that, we can't go any further. But it's it is an absolute logical step. All right.
What's in the proposal, though, that you put to the federal government? Was it there'd be less people in Brisbane and more in Wellcamp?
No, the proposal was, here is an idea to take back returning Australians, right, who need to get home because the rest of the world most of it's in lockdown, and this is about keeping the community safe. That's the number one aim, is keeping the community safe.
So we would take in more international arrivals if the Wellcamp was set up?
That's a matter for the federal government about whether they would allow international arrivals there. I don't control international arrivals, Jack. You can ask these questions till the cows come home, but I don't allow international arrivals. That is the domain of the federal government. Okay, and finally, can I just say great news about the 203 people who were vaccinated yesterday in Queensland. We're well underway. That's fantastic news, and Queenslanders, keep safe.